Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
And the ball game is over. The series is over. Welcome to Slam Diego.
My name is Joey,
My name is James.
and this is the Brothers Padre. And James, we are big mad.
We are so unbelievably big mad right now. Like, to say it bluntly, we are not happy campers.
No.
We are regular campers.
Yeah.
We're miserable. We're
True.
just plain and simply miserable. And I am so unbelievably frustrated with this team. I cannot express how terribly frustrated I am with this team. At this point, I'm thinking, why did we spend all of this money? Why isn't Will Myers still on our team? I mean, why isn't Profar still on our team? He's hitting better than our current left fielder. I just so last
Give some
year,
context to people.
last year, Joey and I had a state of emergency podcast in August
Yeah, we did. That's right.
after we lost some bad games in Arizona, which seems like we always do, and they turned it around. Turns out we weren't the only ones frustrated. The team had a meeting. They wrote "burn the ships" on the whiteboard, and they turned it around, meaning leave nothing on the table. Burn the ships. We're going for it. I realize we haven't even played 20 games yet this year, but it's time. It's time to burn the ships. This is really frustrating, and so. Quick recap, we played a 4-game series with the Brewers. We won a single game.
Yeah.
It wasn't an impressive game. We won 10-3, but they beat us the previous game 11-1. So, and today's game, we lost 1-0. Yu Darvish pitched an absolute gem of a game, struck out 12, 6 2/3 innings. It was embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for a few reasons. Because I, of course, was there. Because I can never not be at embarrassing Padre losses at home.
Joey brought his brand new son to his first ever game, and I don't think I could tell him the first game he ever went to was this embarrassing. We're gonna have to lie to him. You're gonna have to erase all of those records. We're gonna have to erase all the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just lie about it. Just say the first game Tatis hit a grand slam.
exactly.
Something.
Yeah,
It was very frustrating. Padres, the first two innings had runners on third with less than 2 outs. Couldn't score, obviously, because you know the score, 1-0. And the Padres just weren't driving the ball. And then the ninth inning was super, super frustrating. And bases loaded, 2 outs. Trent Grisham gets a full count, but then strikes out looking at a pitch. Not middle, but upper middle.
it was still clearly in the zone. And the umpire at today's game did not do anybody any favors. His strike zone was all over the place, but anybody would have called that a strike because it was a perfect strike.
It was the first inning was first and third, no outs. I thought for sure my long streak of watching horrible baseball games at Petco Park where we lose would be over, and it wasn't. It couldn't score the runner on Soto's up to bat and struck out. Cruz struck out, and then Cronenworth grounded out or flew out or something. It flew out of Yelich in deep left. So it was a very frustrating game because the theme of this season, the biggest thing that we're seeing is the offense is not consistent. And not even not consistent. They haven't had, it's in moments where we just need a basic piece of contact, we just aren't getting it. It's not just we're not just getting home runs. It's like we're not able to just move a runner over or score a runner from third with less than 2 outs. And it's so frustrating to watch because Yu Darvish had an incredible game. Absolutely incredible game. Pitched 7 innings. Basically saved our bullpen was bleeding because this whole series, the Brewers have been like destroying our bullpen. And basically gave a bunch of guys nights off by pitching 7 innings. And it's hard for me to it's hard for me to forget about this one because it felt like, oh, this is either like the floor or this is like the slump that we're all going to rise from, or it's like, oh, maybe like we just don't, maybe our approach at the plate is so tepid, and this idea of like, let's draw out the account, which the Padres are very good at making pitchers throw pitches, but when we get up down 1-2, we aren't good at swinging on those pitches that come to us, and so what happens is you get shut out a lot, or you drive into weak contact a lot, and just it's super frustrating. And I just Juan Soto's got to figure something out. Dude has got to figure it out because listen, I love Juan Soto. You and I both really like him, but my goodness, he was offered $440 million, and he said no because he believes in himself as to be worth more. That isn't the version of Juan Soto we're seeing play every day.
No.
He is striking out a bunch. He is not getting big hits where he needs to. He's walking a lot, but I just looked this up. He's 4th in on-base percentage in our team. So he's not even getting on base at a higher clip than everyone else.
My problem with Soto.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
It just seems like all this whole season, the first pitch of any at-bat is an extremely hittable pitch, and he takes it. He always takes it. And his last at-bat, the closer threw a pitch, just a perfect strike. Any left-hand hitter could have put that in, downtown. He would have knocked it all the way. He could have driven that to Kearney Mesa. Like, he just takes every pitch. It's really frustrating. And another thing he said, which he said he's finding it hard to get used to the pitch clock because he liked to joke around, and it's ruining his timing. And he joked and said it might take him all year to adjust. And I've got to say 2 things. 1, no. And 2, he was hitting like this since we traded for him. Yeah. So that's not an excuse. You have to step up, Soto. I don't know what you need to do. I don't get it. It is beyond frustrating. And it seemed like the hardest hit ball, other than Cronenworth's 2 home runs yesterday, Manny Machado broke the Brewers pitcher's jaw.
Yep.
Other than that, and honestly, I think it shook Machado.
Yeah, it would, because it looked like I don't want to be too gruesome on the podcast, but it did look like it would have killed a guy.
Yeah.
If it hit me, I'd be dead.
Yes.
I would not. I'd be very dead.
Oh, there would be no up and jumping up at me. That guy,
dude jumped up and was ready to what's the play? I'm like, dude, you just got hit in the face.
Yeah, by 105 mile an hour fastball, right in the jaw, and he jumped right up like, let's go. And then they think, no, you sit down. Yeah, 100 mile an hour fastball hits me in the face. I'm not moving. They're gonna have to carry me off that field. But it's really frustrating. I don't understand. Nola has no arm strength. whatsoever. And you've talked about this before, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. The reason why that guy scored in the first game for the Brewers is because Nola couldn't throw him out.
Yeah.
And they miscommunicated with the pitch clock, and he balked him over, and then he stole the other base. It really is frustrating. And Yu Darvish surgically took apart the Brewers' offense today.
A Brewer offense that destroyed Padres pitching for 3 games.
Yeah.
Maybe not for 2.5 games, yeah. Because even the game we won, they were still on base all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He struck out 12. He had him on the ropes. He didn't strike him out overpowering them every time. Every pitch was working for him today. That is as sharp as Yu Darvish can ever look, and we wasted it. And it's just, and yes, Miley from the Brewers is a really good pitcher as well. It's a battle of 2 aces, but it's not. We're supposed to have the best offense in baseball.
Supposed to, yeah.
We have the most expensive offense in baseball.
It goes. I mean, I'm looking at the stats now. Xander Bogaerts has been revelation. So this is not Xander Bogaerts is the big caveat to all of this. Dude has been lighting the Padre world on fire. Like,
He's been on base every game he's played this year.
You might be surprised to know this, but he leads the Padres in WAR. I don't know, and he also leads in batting average and on base percentage, slugging. I don't know. It's very surprising. But besides him, Nelson Cruz second in batting average, and Manny Machado's third in batting average. So I know who's fourth.
Who?
With 14 games played, Jose Azocar. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I know batting average is whatever, but it doesn't generate runs. But like, if you think about from a pure hits, who's like warming up to be good, batting average is a great statistic to figure out who's getting their stuff together, stringing together hits. And Juan Soto is just, he's batting a paltry 184. He's slugging 357.
Unacceptable for somebody who Vegas had either 1 or 2 odds to win the MVP this year.
Yep.
It is. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the Padres do. I don't understand it.
What the Padres do is they have to have Juan Soto figure it out.
Yes.
Because that player's there. He can still drive the crap out of the ball. And I don't know. He has to figure it out. He cannot.
I was really hoping for some deep analysis there.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. He has to do something that's not Juan Soto like to get better. He has to be aggressive and not go deep in counts. Dude loves going deep in counts. That's what like his calling card. He has to want to be aggressive, right? Whereas Juan Soto's, he literally, it's amazing. He's the only person playing in baseball with more walks and strikeouts. No one else, and let me preface this again, no one else in baseball currently, from a year worth service time to 20 years worth service time, has more walks and strikeouts except him. And he has discipline.
And I would say that would be fantastic if he was hitting 330. If he
had 5 bombs already, right?
I don't care about, forget if he had no home runs. Right. If he was hitting 330 with a dozen doubles,
right,
that's Tony Gwynn level greatness right there. But he's not. He's either striking out or walking. He's not getting hits. It really is. I don't mind if he walks. But he's also not a stolen base threat. If he was a stolen base threat, that'd be a different story. Like I said, I really hope the Padres listen to us again and be like, listen, Soto, you gotta turn it around, buddy. You just got to.
Tim Flannery said, he tweeted after seeing the Juan Soto at bat earlier. I'd rather see a guy who turned down $500 million swing the bat rather than not swing on one pitch in the entire at bat with the game on the line. Then take a 3-2 borderline pitch for a walk. That's just me.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
He just has to be. He has to want to be aggressive, and he has to try to be aggressive, because right now it's just not working. He's not making contact, and people know now if you get him deep in counts that you'd rather give him a walk than give him something hittable. But if you get ahead of, like, he'll swing wildly because right now he's impatient. He wants to swing and make something happen. And so he's in this weird spot where he has to be aggressive early in the count before it gets deep in the count and still be able to drive the ball and not pop up or strike or ground out a second like Eric Hosmer.
Yeah. He's not aggressive in the beginning of the at bat, but towards the end of the bat, he swings wildly. It's beyond frustrating. And like I said, but he's not the only problem.
Yeah, what's weird to me, I felt like on the road in Atlanta, he looked way better than he did at home.
He did.
But
he's played a lot of games in Atlanta.
Sure.
So maybe, but that's no excuse. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm more comfortable there.
I saw him hit 2 home runs at the National in a 15-5 game. Okay?
Yes.
He knows how to hit here.
I was at that game too. I quite remember it as well.
He can hit here. I don't know, man. I wish he's not the only problem. Machado isn't warmed up. He hasn't been making big hits. Nola is a black hole. Jake had a great day yesterday. And, the Padres are just, I don't understand how they play. Like, the past 2 years, they've just not played inspired baseball at home, unless it's the playoffs. And it drives me crazy. Like, just try harder, Please, try harder. And today was a sellout. A Sunday Kids Fest day was a sellout.
7 sellouts so far this year.
And give us something. Give us, swing out of your shoes, do something, because you just can't, or just play smart baseball. Just put something in play and see what happens. I don't know. It was so frustrating to watch. And I think the Padres need to get Juan Soto in a place where he can make contact more consistently. You need to trust that Manny Machado will come back. And they need to figure out something with the Nola situation. Nola had a great walk today, which is something, I suppose. It's better than nothing. But he just doesn't create runs like Campusano does. And I don't know. There has to be some change. And maybe the Padres are not worried about it because they would say the talent floor in theory is so much higher than most teams have in their, have on their roster currently. Yeah. And I get that. That's why we're excited about this year. That's why they have 7 sellouts in like the 12 games in the 9 games they play at home.
That's why this is so frustrating, because we've never had a more anticipated year. The last 3 years has been building and building and building, and this feels like the climax, and it's just so frustrating.
And the joke is on Padres Twitter, well, the real season doesn't start until April 20th anyway. And I just can't have that be true, because I've seen the Padres lose really badly with a certain person that's come back on April 20th. I've seen the guy hit 42 home runs, in a season, and still we do badly.
I do too. And the thing is, yes, Fernando Tatis has been carving up AAA hitting. He's 10 for 11 with 5 home runs.
I think it's 7 now, which is absurd. His slugging percentage is 1.3.
Yeah. So he's anxious to come back. But the thing is, unlike last year before he had his little problem, we were looking forward to him all year long because he was going to be a jumpstart to our offense.
Yep.
Because it was Machado who had the team on his back, and Cronenworth was streaky, and that was it. And he was supposed to be a jumpstart. This time, Tatis was supposed to come into a lineup, already be able to give us 5 runs a game. And it just feels like he's coming in to another season where, oh, well, he's going to save us. He should save us. We have a half dozen potential MVP candidates.
3 potential Hall of Famers.
Yes. It's and like right now, Xander Bogaerts, if he keeps hitting the way he's hitting, is an MVP candidate.
Yeah. He leads the league in WAR.
Yeah. It's so yeah, maybe Tatis coming in, that might obviously it'll be a spark. I don't know, maybe his spirit of play will turn Soto around. I don't know. But we shouldn't have to rely on a superstar to come in and turn around other superstars. But again, I'm looking forward to Tatis Jr. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
And another good news, Joe Musgrove. I feel like I'm yelling a lot this episode.
So Ken Rosewall just dropped an article about Soto. And he said he was asked about how would Soto be affected by that.
By Tatis Jr.?
Yeah. He said he basically was like, I guess Soto was like opinion about where he wants to hit second or third in the lineup. He said he's not worried about it here, and he said probably in the second hole would probably be the best place to be. This is his opinion about it, and maybe that changes it. Maybe when I know that I think everyone thinks Tatis is going to lead off, but the dude's hitting nukes, so maybe he should clean up. Like, I don't know. Someone just posted, maybe the ideal lineup is probably Xander, Soto, Machado, Tatis.
That would be a decent lineup. But anyway,
right. But I was looking at that because wondering like if there's any more information around Soto, and I don't know.
It's frustrating. Like I was saying, Joe Musgrove is going to start tomorrow in Lake Elsinore. He's going to be back soon.
Yep.
So yes, we still haven't seen the Padres in all of its potential. But
yeah,
at 80% potential, we're not impressing very much.
No, there's been several games where the bullpen blew it a couple games, but then you're like, but this offense should just be able to take that on. Like we lost 4-3 against the Brewers the first night, right? Should have just been able to take that on, right? And today's game was just, you should have scored more than no runs, right? You just should have. You had the opportunity to, but you just didn't do it. And I just don't know what I don't want. I hope that there are thinking of ways like how do we turn this around? How do we make this how do we make our team more consistent and more powerful? Because right now it's just not looking great. And because this lineup, this kind of style of play will limp us through to the All-Star break. Right?
Yeah.
But we need to just, I really believe this is that this team as its culture needs to just leapfrog and needs to just establish itself as like a very dangerous lineup. And it just doesn't right now. It doesn't look very dangerous at all. Right? Every pitcher respects the lineup because they know the potential it has. But it's not showing the respect that it's not living up to the hype.
No, it's not.
But maybe next week we'll have a podcast and it's like, wow, we scored 400 runs, and you're like, oh, that's what we expect, right? That's
It's what we expect. And again, I hope. I realize it's not the end of the season, like the last time it felt like it. But come on, Padres, burn the ships, do something, bring that back as a hashtag. It's time to turn this around.
Yep.
The NL West, everybody is struggling right now. Nobody seems to get their legs underneath them. So the division's still up for the taking. It's very frustrating. And our next 3 games are at home with Atlanta. At best, we can expect to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, Strider and Fried are both pitching.
I think it's like,
But we beat Freddie Peralta, who's I think the best pitcher we saw this week.
I agree, but the thing is, Fried and Strider we shouldn't fear them with the offense we have.
Right. Oh yeah.
There should not be a pitcher we should fear in the league. But as of the way they're hitting, I'm worried.
Yeah. I don't want to be. I mean, I definitely don't want to be swept, but like it's just we got to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And we beat Atlanta last time we saw them. Maybe we have an advantage because we're at home. We just got to figure something out because I can't. If Tatis comes back and we're like 4 games under 500, which would be, I mean, it's still super early, but it feels like we just need to. The Padres need to bounce back now. They just need to set the tone as like, hey, we can bounce back from ugly stretches of the season.
It feels like a personal attack.
They all woke up and like, we're gonna offend James.
No, it does. It just feels like here are the Padre fans.
Yep.
We're gonna get your expectations higher than any team has ever gotten. San Diego fans ever. We're gonna spend like we're the Yankees. We're gonna get the best team ever, and then we're just not gonna do anything. It really is frustrating. Again, early, but it just. We need to see more wins.
Yep.
It's inexcusable that we're not first in our division right now.
Yeah, with the potential, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the amount of money we spent, the potential we have in the offense, we should just be hammering people.
Yes.
And we're not. And maybe after this is one of the toughest competitive stretches of games we're going to have all season. And if we're 500 at the end of this series with Atlanta, maybe that's okay. But my fear is we won't be. I predicted 1 over 500. I know that's a 1 game difference, but my fear is we'll be 4 games under 500.
Yeah.
But it's but every time we do a state of emergency, except in 2021, it always worked.
Yes.
Our tracker is good except for 1 year.
I mean, 50-50.
Yeah, that's true. But we didn't have an electrician throw no hitter against us.
This is true.
That was the ultimate X on it.
Yeah. That was the ultimate insult.
Yeah. But James, I'm excited to see. What I want to see is a Juan Soto coming out party, just like him just destroy an obvious stretch of baseball where he's just really, really good.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And I want to see it at home at Petco. I'm so tired of watching. This is very personal for me. I'm very tired of watching awful baseball games at Petco Park.
I get it.
I have a horrible track record, okay? It's well established, but I'm just over it. I'm very, very over it. I want to see the Padres just murder opponents with
They
offense.
should give you a refund on your season tickets.
I think so. Some bereavement. Sure.
Exactly.
Some bereavement chargebacks or something. I don't know. But I'm excited to see this week. I know, I mean, I am very excited about Tatis Jr. coming back.
So am I.
I told myself I wasn't going to get hyped up, but 7 home runs and 12 at bats. I'm like, well, I'm sufficiently hyped up. I just think he's just going to. I think he's going to go off the very first day. I think he is. I think he's just. I don't know. I have this insane amount of trust in that, and there's no reason for it. I don't know if I'm, as a fan, I don't really if you asked me before the season what my expectations were, I would say the World Series and to win it. But if you ask me, am I going to die on that belief? No, because I'm a Padre fan. I just know baseball's a cruel, cruel sport.
Yes.
But it's different with Tatis. I just believe. Here's what's crazy. I think he leads. I think by the All-Star break, he leads the National League in home runs.
I think so too.
And that's insane to say. That's just the craziest amount of faith for a guy who hasn't played in a year and a half.
I agree. It is crazy. But you know what? But here's the thing. He might have 25 home runs by the All-Star break, but if the other guys aren't hitting around him, it's for naught.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Labrador Retriever, the tarnished face of baseball, makes them all love baseball again. I mean, Tatis Jr. is going to have a crazy return to the major leagues. He is going to be booed like crazy. But as I've talked about previously in this podcast, athletes are psychos.
Yeah.
They're psychopaths. Do you see what Carlos Correa said today about playing Yankee Stadium? I love boos. I love when they boo me. It gives me more motivation. And you can't tell me that Tatis isn't thinking that way, because they're weirdos. They find anything to motivate them, and he's going to have a crazy time in the major leagues. But also, people really like Tatis Jr.
Yes.
I think people are going to be surprised how much people really like him, because if he hits 25 home runs by the All-Star break, whatever. Who cares what he did? Whatever. This guy plays a brand of baseball that is very rare and is exciting, and you can't help but like it. That's just the way it is. And I want him so badly to make people question the idea of, but you're a cheater, but also but you're also pretty fun. How do you deal with those two, right? Of course he has he has to prove, get in everyone's good graces. He did do something wrong.
Yes.
And he has to live with that. But the game of baseball is for my entertainment. So please, Tatis Jr., hit all the home runs. And I don't really care about your PEDs. I don't. I just don't. Do I care about Joey Meneses' PEDs? Do I care about Logan Webb's PEDs? No. You didn't even know they had PD suspension, did you?
No, I didn't.
So, who cares? But he's going to come back. He's going to I have this crazy amount of faith in him. Maybe I'll be an idiot. Who knows? But I just think he's going to come back, and he's just going to be so amazing. People are going to be like, maybe we should do more steroids. You're pretty
ringworm. Cool. He said he had ringworm? Well, can we get some of that lotion?
Yeah. So I'm very excited for his return.
Yeah. So we're going to probably do a Tatis's back podcast.
Yeah, because he's going to hit at least 2 home runs.
Yeah.
I have such a, he loves hitting Arizona too. Dude, can you just imagine? I'm already getting goosies thinking about this. Just him coming up to bat and he just hits a 470-foot nuke into the into Chase Field. How do you what? I don't know. That's to me. And I think he's going to do it. I think he's that guy. He is one of the most naturally talented baseball players that we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And
the comparison to him and Ken Griffey Jr. is not.
Yeah.
Is well deserved. But as of right now, he still hasn't played in the major leagues. Right. So we still have problems at hand. The Padres need to fix it. And that should be the Padres' focus.
Yeah.
Is to fix
Soto
that problem.
hit some doubles.
Yeah.
Hit a double. And maybe this is it. Maybe he sees Atlanta. Like, oh, I know these guys. I know these cats. Oh, I know these dudes. And maybe he's just like, lets it all go. He's like, whatever, dude. I'm going to swing first on every single pitch, every single at bat. And maybe he goes off on Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta fans, I don't know if you notice it, really hate Juan Soto.
Yes.
Because he destroys them. He does them really dirty. So maybe that's it. Maybe this is the spark. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to go off on this Max Fried fellow.
Yeah, I hope so.
And maybe this is it. And then we see Manny get warmed up, and we just see more consistency. Brett Sullivan's gonna be up this series because Campusano stubbed his little thumb. Got a little boo-boo on his thumb. No disrespect, Campusano, but
Once again, if you were hit in the face with 105 miles an hour, you and I would both die. If you were to get hit by a 100-mile-an-hour pitch in your thumb,
yeah,
you'd have to amputate it.
right.
Did we just take it off now? Is that what happens?
Yeah. But Brett Sullivan, they come up. Maybe he has a breakout. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, and I just want to record. If I had a vision board, I'm not a vision board person, but if I were, the vision board would be like, I only want to record 3 negative podcasts this year. Because this is one. This is definitely one of them. This is definitely one of them. And there's always one in the dog days, June or July. And there's always one, I'm presuming, around the playoffs, like, do we have the right guys? Is this it? Are we hot enough to do this? That's what I want. That's my vision board. So one's done. We got 2 more left. We got to pick and choose.
All right.
Because I definitely don't want it like 2021 where we had 6 in a row.
Yeah, you and I were both thinking, what if we start watching basketball?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, James. Until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Ho-ho, doctor! You can hang a star on that, baby!